You are now tuned in to the Gifted Gab.
Everybody be asking.
Yeah, say the word. Say the word.
What? I don't want to finish it.
Finish that, bro. We here. We live, man. We activated.
How much is it?
Bro, honestly, I got it as a gift still. Yeah.
Bro, you get alcohol gifts.
You know what I'm saying? You get alcohol and shot glasses, bro. When I moved into my crib, that was the only thing people got me, bro, for housewarming gifts.
See, I didn't do a housewarming.
You just went straight into it?
Straight into the crib.
Raw dog in the crib?
It was a crazy time, though.
Crazy.
Yeah, no. Me, man, to be honest, I'd say like almost a week ago now, I got my nails done, got my toes done.
Get your nails done, bro?
Self-love, man.
Pedicure,
Self-care.
manicure?
Self-care.
Yeah.
Man, I walked in that thing, I said, yo, let me get a mani-pedi. She said, for you? I said, oh, shit.
Oh, you're
She said, for you? I said, yeah, for me. Why not for me? She's like, oh, okay. Sat down in that chair, the massage, had my back doing all
Oh, man, bro.
had my feet in like the
little hot water soak?
Yeah,
And they have those massage rubs at the bottom of the tub? Oh, man.
Because at the end of the day, like, I feel like when you are going through a lot as a person, you got to take care of yourself. As we get older, you got to understand the things that you like, the things that you don't like. If you're having a bad day, what can I do to zen me out? What can I do to get me back to even keel? Or if you're having like an ecstatic moment, you'd be like, all right, like, okay, I gotta chill. It's still a race. But what I've been up to, man, just the 99 to Infinity podcast,
Of course, man. We activated, man.
Ain't nothing crazy.
Shit, talk your shit, man.
We've been recording episodes. We're at a new spot, man. It's been such a journey over the last couple of months, to say the least. We have an amazing production team. Shout out to the guys. Nice team of hosts, team of writers as well, graphic designers who really just have been able to pick up the workload that I'm no longer able to carry right now. I'm still recovering from a car accident that I got into like last year. So concussion, I ended up like destroying my wrist, dislocating, shattering, doing some other things. Had to have like a 3-part surgery. So now how that translates into the work is, before, I wouldn't say I was a one-man team, but I would like to take a lot of that creative load onto myself, because if I can save some bread, why not do it?
Why not do it? Yeah.
So
they always say, not to interrupt, but they always say, if you want to do something right, do it yourself.
Which is, in most cases,
it works sometimes. Yeah.
In most cases, it does work.
Yeah.
But, in some cases, and like what I experienced over the last, I'd say year or so, like, no, it's not always the case. Sometimes you're doing damage to yourself for real. Like this. I don't like to use words that I see on Twitter, or like terms that have been coined over time, but the burnout culture, like, who so we're having this conversation on the pod, like who's been coming up with this shit?
Burnout, like just those trigger Twitter words?
Burnout culture.
Burnout, toxic.
Burnout culture. You know how high the cost of living is in Toronto. It's right
terrible.
Now? You have to work jobs. You
need more than one source of income.
You need to work 2 jobs.
100%.
So stop complaining.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is what it is. We don't have a choice on it, but it is what it is. You have to subscribe to it at this time.
Mm-hmm. So, keeping that in mind, I was like, okay, you know what? If I continue to do, first of all, I'm not capable.
Yeah.
When you have a concussion, like the chemistry of your brain gets altered, right? So, your attention span might not be as long as it used to be. Your level of focus. We talk about, I'm sure everyone in this room, like, we've locked in before, right?
Yeah. Of course, as former hoopers, lock in.
The Gifted Gab is locked in right now. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. I've seen it on the gram. I see the Gifted Gab is locked in. So just to give you guys some context, because sometimes it'd be lacking. So yeah, I said, you know what? I can't do this. I can't keep up this workload. I can't host, produce, and edit this podcast. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a crazy.
I will put myself into the grave early.
This guy's the GM, coach, and player at the same time. How's it?
It's cool to say that you can do, but in the long run, understanding that with all of our creative pursuits, this shit's a marathon.
Yeah.
If I'm burning myself out in a week trying to edit one podcast episode, my head's pounding me. I can't sleep at night, and I'm trying to edit. What am I really doing, right? So thinking about the longevity of the pod and the opportunities as well that we've created for people in the past, I was like, you know what, like, nah, we gotta switch things up. So switched the approach. Like I said, got the teams in. We got into a new space, and once we had all of that, like I think we hit the ground running. And it showed me, like we were just talking about, sometimes you don't have to do everything by yourself. Sometimes trusting people, and another thing too, being able to properly communicate what you want in a creative environment.
That's everything.
That skill set alone.
That's communication is everything when it comes to creative pursuits, man. And I find when you have a well-oiled machine with all the right parts that are moving correctly, it'll get you a lot farther than when you're just on your own, you know, walking on your own, right? Especially in the long term too as well, man. I find when it comes to any creative pursuit, like if you want excellence done, especially like, you know, how I mentioned before that I had the campaign. What is excellence? I think it's subjective, but I think it's what
That's what I wanted you to say.
Yeah, it is definitely a subjective, but I think it's about pushing past your own expectations, in my opinion. So say if I have an expectation for this podcast, like I want it to hit this amount of viewers, or this amount of audience, or whatever I have, it's about pushing past that. You know what I'm saying? We coin the term all the time, like the mama mentality. That type of thing is how
that
shit is very real. That is it's disgustingly real.
That's
yes,
real. Yeah.
The evidence is there. You know, this is not theory. This is scientific. It's there, but
that's real shit.
That's how I see excellence. And you know, I also want to thank you, man, for being a part of that campaign, because that was something that was special. It was dear to my heart. I've been talking about it for months. Even guys like Berman and Jason here as well. And it's just good to see it come to fruition. And we have a lot more coming when it comes to that stuff. Absolutely. But yeah, I just want to thank you.
Like even for me, being a part of that experience was crazy because, you know, I was talking to Berman just now, like, you know, when I was sitting down in 2020. So, you know, just to give people, because I've never really told this story before. I'm just thinking about it now.
Yeah, it's story time here.
So
man. Let the campfire go.
I remember. So I was actually like, I feel like I'm in the second act of my life. Shout out to Kobe again. I spent 21 years of my life playing basketball, focusing 100% of my being into a sport, hoping to achieve certain things like playing professionally overseas and making a lot of money, but just also being able to live that lifestyle. Because I think a lot of the times, and I feel some of us might have experienced this as well, there's certain armor that you put on when you classify yourself
as a hooper,
as a hooper, as anybody. Like you nowadays we could walk around and say like, yeah, like I'm a creative director. Oh, I post this, I produce this.
Sorry to interrupt, but the thing that's the worst part is like when you see man's. Remember growing up, you'll see man's like 6'2" combo guard.
Yeah,
class of 2015. Like, bro.
Yo, man, those days are
crazy.
Those
insane, man.
Crazy.
Insane.
And what I want people to really understand about that time was that was a population of people achieving or trying to achieve being the best at a specific craft. And that's competing against people every day within your city, within your province, within your country.
Was it everyone trying to achieve? Or I think a part of it also too is people using it for their own
absolutely.
Identity, clout.
Absolutely.
It's a great way to achieve other things.
Listen, I feel like it's a placeholder. Like, especially looking back at it back then, like that was a placeholder, because nowadays the conversations about like what are you doing with your future are different, because you know, even 3 years ago it was like I hoop right now. I play at this school and I'm trying to play pro. But when you peel back, and that's another thing we're gonna talk about over the course of this pod, peeling back the layers, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
But when you peel back that layer, it's like you're 6'5", you're tatted, you're this, that.
Oh, you have a gold chains. Oh,
all right, like
you're scouted. Oh, you're going to this school. Oh,
you know, you used to bust our ass in elementary school and high school and shit. So now when it's time for that professional career to come around, okay, how many points realistically speaking, how many points did you average? What position do you want to play? All those different things.
I think the scariest thing for me too, and this is the hardest part about transitioning away from basketball, is you get a reality check. And every hooper will hit that at some point. But the scariest thing for me is I never wanted to be that guy 30, 35, still pushing in a sport where once I'm done, I have nothing to say for myself. I have nothing to say for my name. And that's what ends up happening, sadly, is a lot of the guys, they go into this thing. It's a tunnel vision mentality where it's just basketball. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate guys that have a passion for this stuff.
Absolutely.
But I don't like it when you're playing it just to keep up this identity, keep up this facade. And it's a struggle that I see a lot of hoopers in the community have. And I think I can attribute that to just not having the right people around you in your circle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? One thing I could say about my circle is like, yo, like one of my OGs that hit me up is like, bro, like you have to really take a look at yourself. Take a look at what you're doing. Take a look at where you want to be. And
the skill of, sorry to interrupt you, the skill of looking yourself in the mirror. And it's and when I say these things, like, because these are conversations that I have every day. Like when I speak to people, sometimes like, we like technically speaking, you and I both are taller than the average male. We're physically like it or not, we're physically imposing individuals, right? So we have to realize our words are important. So sometimes when you're speaking to people, your body language or your demeanor might seem as if you're attacking them, but you're really not. You want that person to grow. You want that person to see like the real picture, right? So going back to looking at the mirror, that's the first step of that. Like, can you critique yourself? Growing up as hoopers, we were our biggest critics.
Yeah, everything. Literally. Confidence was a big issue for a lot of hoopers, including myself.
Bro, my journey with confidence has been crazy because, you know, as a hooper, like you said, you have that confidence, but then now when you when you are the person stripping yourself of that identity, not the game or not somebody else, you strip yourself of that identity, you have to realize like, oh man, the thing that I was known by all these people, by all my homies, by all these shorties, by everybody that knows me, I was known as a ball player. Now I'm just not a normal person, but now I'm just, you know, I'm a, what do people, someone said this and I laughed my, you know what?
Like just they call it a NARP.
A NARP.
Yeah, non-athletic regular person.
I said, yo, what is that? You know, what is that? I said, what is that? They said, a non-athletic regular person. I was like, yo, the fact that somebody sat down in a room,
coined term,
and really got that shit like approved by the.
It's legal. It's corporate now, bro. But yo, just adding on to that funny story, bro. Grade 10, it was the year where it kind of switched for me. Like before that, I struggled with confidence, and I still did it after the grade 10, but I had like a breakout tournament at the Rim Rocker. And speaking of settings, everyone's there. You know, everyone from grade 7 programs are always there, right? Your coaches, every family, whatever. But I attribute it to a lot of things. There was a documentary I saw called Through the Fire with Sebastian Telfair. And then the second thing was I had this blue Under Armour shirt, bro. It was this blue tight Under Armour shirt I put on before the games. And, bro, I kid you not, every time I played with that on, brother, my 2K ratings were on 100, yes. So when you talk about stripping your identity, confidence.
Is he cheating? Is he?
Bro, what's going on? Yo, it even got to a point, bro, one of my friends, can I see his ID? One of my friends was like, bro, you're not the same guy with that on, eh? I was like, I try to play it off and act like I was, but I'm like, bro, he was right. And it's crazy how we kind of attribute these things to our own identity, you know, stripping our own.
Well, it's crazy. Like it's a crazy concept to like sit down and talk about because like it's real life and like it or not, everybody that is listening to this, watching this, or seeing this as a short form clip on social media, like you are literally like, oh no, don't clip this part. But if you think about it, like you are going to have to go through some shit. You're gonna have to sit down with yourself, by yourself. And process like what could I have done better? Did I do something wrong? Am I at fault? Okay, if you are, can you acknowledge like, okay, like this is something I have to work on. This is a part of my being that if I want to achieve X, Y, Z goals, then I have to mature into a person that does not practice that behavior or whatever it is that you need to work on. But just because you have conversations with people sometimes, and you and I both, we love conversation. You learn so much about people through conversation.
Bro, that's why I love podcasting, bro. It's literally like taking a journey every episode. You're dissecting someone else's
episode. We're on a spaceship.
That's how it feels like, bro. You know what I'm saying? But it's amazing. That's why I kind of got into starting podcasts with my homies, because you're taking a journey into someone else's mind every time. I know that sounds so corny and cliche, but it's facts. Like. And the thing with podcasting is like I'm learning so much at the same time. It's like reading a book at the same time. So I appreciate me even starting this. I appreciate you even starting this. You know what I'm saying?
But see, like so you asked the question like, oh, you guys both play basketball.
Yeah.
Oh, you went to this school. You went to all these different schools. Why are you doing what you're doing now? Sure. Like we'll get into the long story. I feel like, but long story short, things didn't work out, but they worked out. Like. There, as we were, so we just talked about like the identity of a ball player,
of a hooper,
like how it's like your armor and how it's what you're known as.
It's what your self-efficacy, your confidence is shown through,
But
right?
so
It's how you introduce yourself to people.
When you were growing up, were you always well spoken, or is that something that
No,
you?
honestly, no. I felt like through podcasting, and it sounds cliche too, but through going to college and things like that, it helped me kind of articulate myself better.
Absolutely, you have to.
You have
Choice.
to. You have no choice, bro.
If you're in
It's
class,
the worst, bro. It's like studying. You ever been in a seminar stuttering, bro? Oh my gosh, bro, it's terrible.
Listen, man.
Terrible.
Start
sweating, backs, fucking. You know.
If it's winter, you gotta take your jacket
You
off.
gotta start doing one of these.
Close quarters, you gotta stand up, take
fuck,
it off.
man. It's terrible. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. It's
That
terrible,
was
bro.
before the days of spray on deodorant too.
Yo, that's hey, man. It's tough times, man. Hey,
Yo,
don't bring me back there, bro.
Before you leave your crib, spray
Can we just make it mandatory for everyone to wear deodorant before
spray
their
that
crib?
thing, man?
If you're going to a function, you have one job.
Spray that thing.
You have one
wake up in the
job.
morning, take a shower,
Spray that.
bathe your skin, spray that thing.
Have you ever forgot to spray it on?
Absolutely.
Like you left the crib and you're just like,
Absolutely.
yo.
Yeah, I'm a human being.
Those are the times where I'll stop off at a Shoppers and
Thank
just
you. I
I'm
was
not
just gonna say that.
I'll spend the $9-8 whatever on deodorant.
Listen,
I don't care.
Even if it's not on sale, I'm purchasing it.
Yeah, bro.
Because it is a
Non-negotiable.
essential.
It is.
It's an essential. Like even chewing gum. Like
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
I'm so I was just having this conversation earlier with one of my people. I lost my CarMax. Did you lose your deodorant? Stop tripping.
Yeah,
like
fix up.
lose it. I lose
up.
Blistex all the time. I lose my sunglasses all the time.
Yeah.
I lose the most.
Oh, sunglasses though. Sunglasses kind of wrecked though. Which type are we talking?
expensive joints.
Oh, brother. You might have to have an intervention for you. The sunglasses are on my hip.
Listen,
They're not on my eyes. Are on my
hey,
hip.
man. You know what it is? Because I'm not in like a lot of different places, but I have the option to be if I really want to.
Ah,
right?
that's
So,
a
like,
real flex right there.
Nah, not at all. But see, like you, one thing like one thing about like because like one thing I have to understand too is, and I'm kind of like going back to like the health stuff here. But this is important because at the end of the day, like if I don't know me, then I'm messing up already, right?
Yeah.
So one thing about me I have to understand is my short-term memory has been affected like crazy. So I'll put like things that normal people do, like put the keys down, forget where they were.
Yeah.
Put your phone down, forget where it was, and things of that nature. But for me, it like gets crazier. So like I'll put my shades down and I will do one thing, or I'll even unlock my phone because I got a text. I don't want to respond to the text, but
I know those ones.
Where my glasses at?
This girl's like Velma from Scooby Doo. Like,
where my glasses at? I be in the crib like, yo, where's the converter? Like,
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that like I have to understand that my brain is set up a certain way now. So
Yeah.
I have to like write on the whiteboard with my right hand. Yo, your keys are here. Your phone is here.
yo, but you're left-handed too, right?
Left-handed, man.
Oh,
Yo,
man.
listen, and a lot of people like they stop me. Like and if it's one thing, and this has been a blessing that I've been experiencing over the last 2 years, pretty much since we started the podcast. Like when you hoop, you are well known because like a large population of the people who are doing like I don't want to say.
Bro,
like,
it's a
big
small
things.
community.
It is. It's
Extreme. It's
which camera should I look at? This one? It's a small world. It's a small world. It's a small world. I'm telling you.
Oh man,
telling you.
it's good and it's bad, man. It's good and it's bad. It's scary and it's delightful.
Stay away from the bad because we know why.
We know why. I don't want to get into it, but we know why.
You won't.
It's but like we're saying, it's such a small community, right? There's the amount of like I'll be honest, like I think like maybe 75% of my network is through basketball, and it's still expanding.
And
but
that's what shows you what networking actually is.
the power of it, right?
You know what? And I don't often like break off into these like stories like,
Yeah.
I gotta tell you this about
Yeah, let me
something
hear
that
it. No,
somebody
no.
said, but I remember like I love not giving game because I'm not no OG. I'm a young cat.
Hey
you know,
man,
but, like,
hey bro, anyone could give wisdom, bro. Honestly,
you know what? I rescind that statement that I just made.
Yeah.
I rescind it because I think now because I'm at the age where I am and just experiencing the different things I've experienced growing up and maturing, age shouldn't be a concept where it's like, okay, you are older than me, so I have to
respect you.
but not in that way, because obviously you have like respect is something that's very important in this life. Right?
Yes, it's
But
crucial.
I'm saying that to say, like, because you are like, I think oftentimes we project like different things onto people who may be at a higher level of life or higher age than us, right? So you could be like, oh, my boy such and such, I know he's older than me, so he should have his financials like to the T, or he works like we work in the same field, or we work in the same creative industry. He's been doing this for a lot longer than me. I should know, or I believe that he knows
it all,
everything,
yeah.
or he's the man, or whatever. Sometimes that's not always the case. Sometimes you are your experience. Sometimes, you're not the teacher in that situation. You're the student, and it could be flipped as well.
I think the best teachers are students.
Yep.
I think the best leaders are listeners, right? I don't think you become a leader without listening.
I hate someone that can't listen.
It's the worst, bro, and you can tell they're not listening, bro. I work with a guy, man. I don't want to expose him, bro, but it's like it's the worst when you got to repeat yourself 2-3 times, bro. What are we doing, bro?
Man, that's why tone and cadence of speech
It's
is
so important, and you can't approach every person the same way, right? You can't approach every conversation the same way, and that's conversation is art, man. I'll stand on that.
I'm telling you, like you could. This is gonna sound crazy, but you could if you know conversation and if you know speech, if you study language, you know how to get what you want out of a conversation.
Oh.
You know if I need to communicate this to someone that is not going to receive it in the best way. If I say it like this, I'm going to say it like this. It's something that, okay, everyone does that. That's normal life. Like, okay, but not a lot of people practice it.
Yeah.
Because you could have a skill. I remember this one with my old friends. I don't know if we're friends anymore, but we had a little convo like years ago, and they said to me, what's unused diminishes or decrease. Oh, what is unused decreases, something like that.
Yeah.
Basically,
Makes sense.
like if you don't practice a skill, like say for example, the analogy of the anatomy. If you
curl,
2 to 4 times a week, you're starting to get a little D. You start flexing, walking around with cutoffs and shit, and then you stop lifting, and then you start to get skinny and you start to lose muscle mass. So like kind of like that skill is the same thing as conversation. Like it's a natural part of life, but it's still a skill.
I found myself over the pandemic, because I wasn't recording much, I was not able to speak English.
What do you mean by that? Seriously.
It sounds very crazy.
I was not able to speak English. That's interesting.
It sounds very crazy. And I don't literally mean I wasn't able to speak English. I mean it in the sense where it's just gonna sound very strange, but my ability to articulate myself in different ways, my ability to reach for synonyms and reach for different jargon was not there. It's very, I don't know, I'm gonna sound crazy, but it's really strange. But it kind of adds on to your point where if you're not continuously practicing anything, and that's with anything in life, bro. If I'm a videographer, I want to keep editing.
Even your intelligence, bro.
Bro.
So I was having this conversation the other day too, and this is something that I realized within myself, bro. Like, little backstory about me. So I went to some of the best schools on the planet, like literally, and I'm not gonna be shy about saying that. Like,
I know your track record.
I won't say it though.
No, so talk your shit, bro.
So, when I went to a lot of these schools, like it wasn't. Sometimes it was the institution, but a lot of the times it was the structure of learning. It was the rigors of the learning environment that kind of made me into the. I like to call myself an intellectual. That's what made me into who I am today, right? But now, as I was in a lot of these, and this is like there's a whole, like, I want you guys to really be able to comprehend what I'm gonna say. Not you. I know you're gonna.
This is some Kanye West type stuff. Like you gotta I don't know, diagnose it a little bit, dissect it.
So how we're talking about identifying as an athlete. So going to some of the best schools in the world, and I'm the jock, where it's just like, okay, like you're the guy that's known as the athlete who's gonna go on the court, do whatever you do, go on the field, do whatever you do. You're not really gonna have the same type of passion in the classroom, but it is what it is. But that wasn't the case for me. I was just as passionate about school as I was about sports and basketball, right? But now, when you're in a lot of these environments, people behave a certain way, and a lot of the times, as we're young and we're impressionable, we don't necessarily stay true to ourselves. If we are a group of 10. And I make that group 11, if 10 of those people think literary devices are stupid and we should not use them in our everyday sentences, if 10 people think that, really going to the extent of your vocabulary in a normal everyday conversation with your best friend is not what they want to do, then over time to fit in with that group, unfortunately, as a young impressionable man or child, you are going to start to behave a certain way to fit in.
For sure.
Right. So as I started to, as I embarked on my journey, when I was 16, I left the country to go to school. Yeah, it's pretty young.
Yeah, same,
right?
yeah.
So now when I'm out there, it's like, okay, you are the Canadian kid, you are a target, right? On the court and off the court as well. Are you gonna make a mistake? So on and so forth. But now when you get to university, and now you're with, like, you're seen as you come in as the freshman. You're like, first of all, you're not taking my spot.
Of course,
like
not.
that's the main thing.
Yeah.
But then there's a culture that existed before you when you walk into that locker room, right? And when you walk into that locker room, you kind of think like, man, I gotta fit in. I can't necessarily demean someone in regards to it, especially intelligence, because you insult somebody's intelligence.
Bro, you might as well punch them in the face, bro.
The fisticuff. Niggas get upset, niggas want to tussle.
Of course,
right?
yeah, of course,
But,
of course.
When it comes to things like that, I was essentially moving away from what made me me.
I think I can relate to that in so many ways because when you're part of a program, when you're part of a team, you want to become a part of that team.
Yeah.
Right? You want to be a part of that group. I think as humans, as a society, we want to be a part of something, and that's what makes us human. It's like being a part of a group. I can relate to that in so many ways because when I went out west to U of A, like you're saying, it's a completely different culture. I'm this kid from Saga moving to Edmonton. It's a bit of a culture shock, and there's a whole different a team culture here that I have to get myself accustomed to, right? Just different, just the way we practice, the way we support each other, the way we cheer each other on, the way we communicate. There's these barriers that I had to kind of overcome, and got used to very quickly, I found. But I think that what that helped me with is my ability to adapt, my ability to be in different rooms, and I think that's my ability to survive, and I think that's so crucial, and that's why I would survival instinct.
That's what it is, eh?
You can call it that.
Something like that.
Yeah, around yeah, not too far, but yeah, like that's why I relate to what you're saying, bro. Because as a freshman, people are looking out, and you're like, bro, you're not gonna take my spot, bro. Are you crazy? Yeah. You're from Saga,
bro.
You got local kids here trying to local kids in Edmonton trying to be like, nah, you're bro. You're on the bench. Like, little did they know I'm Andre. You know what I'm saying?
I want you guys to know in this moment, I did not let my pervasive thoughts win. I was going to say,
you're gonna say some crazy.
No, I can't do it. I shouldn't do it.
Oh man, but no, honestly, that's one of the best decisions I made in my life, man. Going out west, and I will never take it back because just the support cast, the coaching, everything. Yeah,
and with my journey is like a little bit different from yours. Like, okay, so I went from a school called Upper Canada College.
Yeah, I'm aware. Bro, I told you before. I was in a workout there with you, bro, like years back. I don't know if you remember, bro. Yeah,
I told you this. And
you told me that.
Remember, man, and it's crazy coming from me because,
bro, I swear I told you that. I told you my memory's trash, bro.
Yeah, you're right. You did.
I swear I told you that, bro.
You did tell me.
You told me you saw me at a gym before that. I think. Yeah. Where was that gym, bro? Yeah,
it was in the West. It was in the West.
What does that mean, bro?
I don't know.
This guy said the West. You know how big the
challenged.
West is, bro?
I'm directionally challenged, bro. I can't get
terrible
without
man.
a GPS.
Why are you driving?
I don't drive. With that track go Uber everywhere? Nah.
Oh man,
it's free. It's a write off. I'm joking.
Love it, man.
But no, like, so I go from UCC. Obviously, like predominantly white school. One of like 7 or 8 black kids, right? But like I said, you're a gifted student and you're a gifted athlete, and you shine because you're in that specific environment where the norm is academics over athletics, right? And then from there, I go, this place is challenging academically, but at that point in time, like I think I got my first scholarship offer in grade 9.
From where?
From Binghamton University.
Oh shit, you got a D1 on the grade? It's tough,
yeah, bro. I went to it was the Caribana Classic.
Yes.
Went there. And then Kale did my thing, and then from there they send something in the mail, and I'm giddy like, oh my gosh,
yeah, you see that,
and then just come to our camp, but and there's that invite is a double-edged sword because one, that's how they fund their
make money
their stuff for the year.
Yeah.
At the same time too, if you go and you do your thing, there's an opportunity. So I discussed it with my moms, and I was like, listen, she's like, yo, go there, did my thing. I'll never forget this. I remember the camp was kind of like winding down. This is the last day of games, and I was shooting on the gun, and I think me and a couple other people were shooting. One of the guy who was shooting in front of me, he wasn't shooting well, and he just got off the gun. And I kept shooting. I think I didn't miss for like a minute. So, and like this, like that's normal stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's not like anything crazy, but you know, from there, like I had played well all weekend. The head coach came up to me, he's like, "Yo, where's your mom's?" I was like, "She's over there." He said, "Go get her." And they come, he's like, "Yo, I want to offer your son a scholarship." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is crazy." Like I didn't have an ego at the time, but I'm thinking, okay, like this is where the real work starts, right? So from there now, I'm like, okay, I know I have potential to play Division 1 or Division 2 basketball. This school, if I stay here, I don't know if I'm going to get recruited even more because I don't want to settle for a Binghamton. I want to go to a high major school.
Of
right?
course.
So from there, I go to the Kiski Menata School or the Kiski School in Salzburg, Pennsylvania. How many of you guys have ever heard of that or seen it? None, probably never.
Only reason I heard of it because I visited.
Yes.
That's the only reason why.
Listen, we have some deep
that is
ties,
a vintage. That is a very vintage old school, bro. Vintage
Some
school,
deep
bro.
ties,
Yeah.
Right? So I'm there, right? At that. So before no one's like, this is gonna sound crazy. No one's gonna believe me. I don't care. I'm telling my story. So before I stepped onto a court, I was the second ranked prospect in the state of Pennsylvania. Behind, yo, it's crazy. That set me. I remember we had a like I think it was a practice or something, and then the coach was just like, "Yo, like, okay, so we have some guys on this team that are ranked, and some guys aren't. Just keep it G." And I was second ranked behind Cam Reddish.
That's nuts.
It's crazy. Right?
That's nuts.
So, and look at where he is now. Look at
Yo, every man has those stories, bro. I'm telling you,
so
bro.
then from there, mid-season, coach gets fired. They don't tell us why. And after that, I'm like, okay, you know what? I need to find a better situation. So from there, I end up transferring to the Tilton School in New Hampshire.
Yep.
Great school. Great basketball program. I think we were ranked like 10th in the country. And that was in the NEPSAC. Like, if you know,
no.
Crazy,
They're
league, right?
One of my homies was playing over there. What's the team? I know their logo was the Huskies. It was like green and white. New Hampton. Yeah.
New Hampton's a great school. I lost my love for the game, and I'll get to it in a second. But I haven't really been in tune with basketball lately. But from there, I'm technically a 2018 prospect because
wait a minute. What?
Reclassification and
bro, aren't you 20? You're 90 what?
I'm a 99.
99 yeah, baby. I keep forgetting. Yeah, you're
so
99. Yeah.
If you were a 99 baby and you were traditionally attending school, you were graduating 2017. But if you reclass, you're 2018.
Get extra year, yeah.
So from there, reclass, boom. I was getting tons of looks for 2018. I already had an offer. I was getting recruited by Ivy League schools. Bro, I wanted to go to Brown.
That would have been tough, man. Yeah.
And then get a call one day. It's summertime after I transferred, and my mom's like, "Yo, listen, like." We just did the NCAA clearing portal. You know what that is?
Yeah, of course.
But they said that you have to graduate in 2018 unless if you don't graduate in 2017, you are not eligible to play college basketball. And the reason that was the case was because when you go to a school like UCC, which is an international baccalaureate school, if I'm in grade 8, I'm taking grade 9, so on and so forth. Like you're working in your head.
Okay.
So now the NCAA clearing portal, you technically, like, your clock starts when you get into grade 9. So when I was in grade 8, that's when that clock started.
Damn.
So now all my recruitment in the night gone. Like, sorry, like, it's slow for you. So then from there, I ended up going to a Division 2 school. Get to a Division 2 school, I'm thinking, oh, I'm about to kill. After this year, I'm back to the level I should be at. Psych, heart condition, can't play, out for the year.
Man, sorry to hear that, bro. Yeah.
It's life, bro. It's life.
Yeah, it is what it is.
After that, I just never got back to the athlete that I was, and I understand that now. I never recovered mentally, like my mental toughness never recovered, and at the same time too, physically, I don't think I ever got back to that level where I was who was deserving of all those different accolades and recruitment and whatnot. So now, fast forward, I come back home to Ryerson. I went to Ryerson for a year. Not many people know that. It was crazy. I come home to my city and no one's coming out to watch me play. Like, no.
Yeah.
But so I'm at Ryerson for a year. It didn't work out basketball wise. As a student, I was not really paying attention in classes because I was like, listen, if basketball's not going well, my life's not going well because my whole identity was wrapped around that.
Exactly.
Right? So now, as I've admitted to myself I have no future in this sport. Right. From where I was, the decline has been crazy. I was depressed. I was going through it, and that's what most ball players experience when they transition away from the game.
This happened during the pandemic,
bro. This happened smack dab in the middle.
My
of COVID.
story is the same exact way, bro.
Smack dab in the middle of COVID. But like the season ended. Classes went online. I said, yo.
Fuck, bro.
I was like, yo, I'm done.
You know what was the worst? Were you guys in nationals in 2020?
No.
You guys were in there? Okay,
No, bro.
so
we lost to Ottawa.
That's Ottawa. That's yeah. So we were in nationals, and the pandemic hit right as the tournament ended. Right, that's when like things started to affect us seriously.
Yeah.
And after that moment, everything locked down. COVID cases going up and things like that. But it forced me to take a look on myself, a real introspective look, and like, is this what I want?
Does this make sense? Is this what I want to do for the next
how
many years of my life?
I'm 24 at this point. I'm talking 2020. I'm 24, I believe, and I have to be forward thinking at this time. Everything's an investment. Every move you make is an investment. You have to really make those decisions. And I'm just, it's like, is this really what I need to do,
bro? And in all of that, like soul searching, going through it, all the the roller coaster of emotions that any one of us would have experienced. I thought back on my journey, and it was in that moment when I started to really appreciate it, because like I said, 21 years of my life were surrounded by, or were geared towards having a potential professional career at a sport. Realistically speaking, I would have needed to average a certain amount of numbers and blah, blah, blah. And
at your school, you probably you can get away with averaging like a 10, 12.
But see, like,
and even then, it's still sticky.
And my stats weren't there.
It's still sticky.
Weren't there.
Yeah.
My stats weren't there. But see, so now, through all of the roller coaster of emotions that I'm experiencing, I'm looking back at my journey and I'm thinking like, yo, again, before COVID, before 2020, and before even this year, like I wasn't speaking so highly on my journey like that in regards to like, oh yeah, I went to some of the best schools in the world. Like, I was like, yo, I failed. I did not make it.
Yeah.
What I set out to do, I did not achieve.
Yeah.
I disappointed my family. I disappointed my peers. I disappointed everybody who ever did what they could to help me pursue this dream of mine. And I felt like shit, bro. To be plain and simple, I felt like shit. But then when I really looked back and I was like, yo, all of the people that you met, all of your best friends, all of the people who like you would invite to your wedding if you ever get married, all the different skills and talents that you cultivated and developed over those 4 or 5 years year period, you are still that person. You are still that person. All of the skills and talents that you even had during those times that you didn't pay attention to because you were trying so hard to make it in a specific area of life, you are still that person. So now what you need to do is you need to go back to your roots and truly figure out who are you when the basketball is not bouncing. Like what type of music are you gonna listen to throughout your week? Because it's not like you're in the gym twice a day grinding where you're just playing like rap joints and like don't get me wrong, we mixing a little R&B here now.
Man, I hope so, bro. Listen to R&B when you're working out is different.
It's different. You gotta be locked in, bro. But I took into account all those things. I was like, yo, listen, I'm not just a basketball player. Like I'm so much more. And from there, that's when I feel like I embarked in the journey that I am on now.
Yeah.
I've been and it's a daily thing. It's not just you
no,
have an epiphany.
Yeah, it's not a switch and
you're like, oh, I'm good now.
Nah.
Like, no, like you literally have to work on yourself every day. And there's different ways of working on yourself, but for me in particular, it was going back to my roots. Like I was a nerd. Like and that's not a bad thing.
Like anime.
I was proud. Like, oh, I'm not talking about anime yet. Like if you want to talk about that, we talk about
that's another episode.
Hours.
That's another episode. Yeah.
But in regards to like what made me the charismatic individual, made me the smart kid.
You have wit, man. That's all it is. That's what it really comes down to is wit, and that's something that not everyone has.
Compliments. I can't take compliments.
This guy.
Sorry, bro.
No, I'm joking. No, it's wit, man. I have this discussion with my homie all the time. It's like not everyone has that wit. The ability to be comedic, the ability to have quick sayings, the ability to understand different thoughts and different, because there's so many narrow-minded people in this what we're doing in this industry and everything we're doing. But that's what it really comes down to. But
it's a different level of thinking, bro. Like it's like we said at the beginning, like peeling back layers. Like I'm willing to spend months or a year of my life like cultivating a skill or learning more information because I know it's going to benefit me in my future. Like I don't care to consume certain things in the media right now because they're not benefiting me in any way, shape, or form. I feel like a lot of, especially my my age group and younger,
Yeah.
we're stuck in the matrix, bro. Like,
Bro,
we're
it
stuck
feels
in the
like it.
matrix.
It's
horrible.
you have to work to live. You have to live. It's
forget the work side of things, bro, because we understand that, and it's not.
but it's tough. Like, how do you forget? It's so tough though, bro. Because literally, if we have a passion, we have to feed this passion. We have to work. We have to get stuck in the 9 to 5. It's like we work so much, we make all this money, and then sometimes we don't even have the time to spend the money, and then we got to put it. It's so many.
But it's about what you prioritize, bro. At the end of the day, like, and it's you. The saying, you are what you eat, you are what you consume.
Yeah.
If you're spending hours and hours and hours, like, the first thing you do is you wake up and you go on the gram. You're already shaking. You're already shaking it.
Yeah.
First thing you do is wake up and go on Twitter. You're already shaking it.
Man.
The first, like, you, if say for example, if you're a guy and you have no female friends that are your actual female friends, you're shaking it. Who's shaping your reality? You know what I mean?
Bunch of men
talking
you're
about
the 11th
foolishness. Guy. You see what I'm saying?
The 11th guy.
Right? So, you know, when you take all those things into account, like, you really have to understand, like, yo, you are first of all, you're the sole person that's in charge and responsible. But at the end of the day, like, you are blessed to say that you can build yourself into who you want to be. Essentially, like, if you are able to critique yourself and say, like, oh, my time management skills suck. Oh, like, I have a victim mentality, or I'm lazy. I like to smoke a lot of weed, and when I smoke, I don't, you know, my mind is not where it should be. When you take those things into account, like, you can fix that. You can stop yourself from continuing along that path.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
I think another thing too is, like, ignorance is so bliss and appealing to a lot of people, where it's tough to put that mirror up. But like you're saying, that introspective look is tough. It's needed, but it's also very tough, bro. But yo, Jalen, I gotta be honest with you, bro. This episode is tough. We gotta have to run this back a second time because we're going over time right now. I know it's a bit tight, but
absolutely, man.
you know what I'm saying? It's 99 collab is looking kind of neat, man. It's looking kind of neat, man.
99 to infinity, Gifted Gab, man. We're here. We're gonna be here for a long time.
Shit, man.
And you wanna know why? And I'm gonna give you your flowers here too. There's a deeper level of thinking that's being thrown into all these different things. You know, it's not reactive. It's planned. It's calculated. And that's one of the things that I've expressed to you a lot, is how grateful I am for you to have involved me in the small part of your journey that I've been able to be a part of. Because at the end of the day, like, one, iron sharpens iron, but at the same time too, it's opportunities like the one that you gave me, or it's settings like this that really propel minds like ours forward. So grateful to you, grateful to you as well, and
I already know, man. Yo, so where can people find your website, man? Instagram handle, everything.
Instagram handle personal, JalenDrewski, JalenDrewski. The 99 to Infinity company. Well, you can find our podcast at 99 to Infinity Media on Instagram, 99 to Infinity Podcast on TikTok. If you click the link, you'll find our link tree that has all of our, you know, links to our YouTube episodes, our audio exclusives, even skits that we've done. Everything that we do is on there. Stay tuned, man. We're going to be putting out our new season of the pod just now. You might even see this guy on there. You don't even know.
Activated, man. We here.
We're here, man. Just the last thing I want to say, man, is at the end of the day, like, it's such a blessing to be able to grow every single day. It's such a blessing, bro.
I love it because it's so vague, but it's so applicable. I love it, man.
Telling you,
we'll leave on that note. Anyways, bro, pleasure. You already know, man.
Boom.
And we here. We out. Yeah, I know. I always abuse that.